Hi, I'm Sarah Tilsley, spiritual confidence coach, tarot reader, energy healer. And I wanted to come to you today to talk a little bit about me and let you know a couple of stories about me that you might not know, that you might find really interesting. So, I'm a huge horror fan, right? It's my go-to choice for movies, TV series, the lot. Most of the time, it's what I choose. I choose to read it, to watch it. My Netflix is just full of horror choices and suggestions, right? And at one time when I was a teenager, we watched The Fog with my mum, just me and my mum. My sister disappeared because she's not a horror fan at all. And she disappeared and we were sitting there on the settee with these breadsticks and cream cheese, right? I don't eat cream cheese anymore. That's another story. And I've got these breadsticks and cream cheese on the settee in the middle of us. And we're sitting there watching the films, grabbing a breadstick, dipping it in the cream cheese, eating it, as you do. Until we were both put a hand in to grab another breadstick and noticed that they were missing. And we were both like, where the fuck have they gone? I didn't swear back then because my mum would not have liked me swearing as a teenager. But we just got so carried away watching The Fog that we didn't realise how much we were eating. And they were gone before we knew it. And to this day, we still call it The Fog. If I'm having cream cheese now, it's dairy-free. But to this day, we will still call breadsticks and cream cheese The Fog. And I think this sort of horror stuff, and it's always been within me because I grew up in a psychic family, right? And whereas I don't see ghosts and spirits as horror and that kind of stuff, although some people do, I grew up in a psychic family and their stories and stuff were stories of them like talking to spirit, seeing spirit, having messages from spirit, and I was fascinated with these stories, fascinated with the stories of their psychic gifts, and helped me realise from an early age that actually I wanted to be psychic too. I didn't realise I was until my mid-30s, right? I'm nearly 40. But till my mid-30s, I didn't realise I was psychic. Looking back now, there was hints and bits and bobs. One particular story was when I had this psychic nudge not to go out. I just had a car. It was a Rover convertible. It was, at the time, I'd always wanted a convertible, and I'd not long had it. My mum says, as teenagers are, they don't want to get up, they don't want to move. And I was 18, 19 at the time at this point. And Mum said, I'm going to see your Nana and Grandad. Are you coming? I said, yeah, in a minute. I'm coming. She asked time and time again, yeah, in a minute I'm coming. But as you're probably aware, sometimes teenagers are a little bit slow on getting moving when they need to go somewhere. Before I knew it, Mum had gone. And I was like, okay, I've got a car. I can do this myself. Got ready and got ready to leave. And my intuition says, don't go. Stay here, don't leave. And I had all of these nudges that told me I was not supposed to leave the house that day. I wasn't supposed to get in my car and drive. And I completely ignored that, right? Completely. Looking back now, that was my intuition, right? That was my psychic gifts coming out and warning me of the situation that was going to happen. So the time I hadn't long started driving, and I only knew one way to my nana and granddad's. So that was the way I was going to go. The problem was that I ignored my intuition. Completely ignored it. Completely dismissed the fact that I should have listened. So I got in the car. I drove up the road to the bank, and there was this BMW coming out of a side road. There was a roundabout ahead. I slowed down to get towards this roundabout. I slowed right down toward as I was heading up to this big roundabout, like you do. And this big BMW comes shooting out of the side road, completely hit the front of the car. And I was told that if they were busy at the garage, they would have totaled my car. They would not have fixed it. And that completely shook me. And to this day, someone comes out of a side road, I will swerve slightly. My heart will be in my mouth to this day. And I was 18 at the time when this happened. So that was, I'm not going to work out the math, but that was a long time ago, right? And that was my psychic gifts coming out then that I hadn't realised that were. And looking back, there was loads of other times that I'd had these psychic abilities coming out that was like just completely ignored. I can see it now, but then I didn't. And it was only like when I decided, you know what, I'm going to pick up a tarot deck that I'd been reading tarot for myself and family for a long time. And I decided to pick up a tarot deck and say, you know what, I'm going to do this for other people too. And it was only when I got my cards out and when I started reading tarot, I'm going to say I have them. I have loads. You can see I've got them here. And it was only when I started reading tarot for other people that I was like, actually, I do have these psychic gifts. Actually, some of the message I'm hearing, seeing, the images I'm seeing, the words I'm hearing aren't coming from me. These are channeled through me. And some of the message I was getting wasn't because of the images on the cards. It wasn't because of the meanings of the cards. They were coming through me psychically. And that's where my psychic gifts really started to come out, because I started to use them. I started to notice them. I started to, excuse me, I started to really pay attention to them and to develop them and grow them. And that's where my business started. So that is about me, Sarah Tilsley. I am a spiritual confidence coach, tarot reader, energy healer. And I hope you have the most amazing day. Bye.